They grew up as siblings, but fate had a different plan. When emotions cross the forbidden line, love becomes their deepest secret. Stay till the end to uncover how their tangled hearts challenge every boundary. The drama opens with Ling Chao asking Xiao Tu if she submitted her university application. She replies that her father is against it. Chao, hoping they'll study at the same university, tells her he wants to see her every day. A flashback from 3 years ago reveals they've been childhood friends. Xiao Tu's parents scold her for ranking 29th in class, especially when Ling Chao topped. Chao sarcastically tells them that if one sick student had attended, Xiao Tu might have ended up last. Furious, her mother throws her out of the house. Xiao Tu heads to Ling Chao's home and casually starts watching a drama. Chao shuts the laptop, insisting she call him elder brother. She refuses, and a playful argument ensues. Just then, Ling Long, Xiao Tu's classmate who likes Chao, drops by with cookies. But spotting the two bickering closely, she leaves, clearly jealous. The next day at school, Xiao Tu's friend Jiang warns her about a gang breaking students' bicycles and extorting money. Later in class, Jiang gets caught using her phone to look at an idol's photo. The teacher confiscates it until the final exams. Out of sympathy, Xiao Tu lends her own phone to Jiang. Meanwhile, Ling Chao plans to go out with friends after school. Xiao Tu spots his bicycle fallen with a trace of blood nearby and assumes the gang has harmed him. She rushes off to find him. When Chao returns home and learns she hasn't come back, he searches for her and finds her being harassed by a group of boys. He rescues her and takes her home. At home, he gently dries her hair and scolds her for not informing him before going out, saying his mom would kill him if anything happened to her. They end up using the same towel, a symbol of their closeness. Another flashback shows that Ling Chao didn't cry at birth, until Xiao Tu came near. She always saw him as a younger brother and tried to protect him, though her efforts often hurt him. Because of that, Chao never truly saw her as his sister. She always bossed him around. Later, a new student named Han Zhan arrives, drawing attention from the girls, until Ling Chao walks by and steals the spotlight, making Han visibly jealous. The teacher assigns class duties. While cleaning with Jiang, Xiao Tu agrees to help her sneak into the principal's office to retrieve her confiscated phone. Just then, Ling Chao and classmate Xinlon arrive. Chao reminds them they're in charge of hygiene and warns that Xiao Tu's sloppy work might lead to a point deduction. When they spot a plastic bag stuck in a tree, Xiao Tu climbs up to fetch it but slips. Her pants tear during the fall, and Chao immediately covers her with his jacket and escorts her home. Xinlon silently watches, her jealousy growing. At Ling Chao's house, Xiao Tu begins cleaning his room and finds a box under his bed. Chao warns her not to open it, but she does anyway, discovering some adult movie CDs. Embarrassed, Chao quickly covers her eyes and claims the CDs belong to his deskmate. Xiao Tu promises to keep it a secret. The next day, she drags Chao to the principal's office to help retrieve Zhong's confiscated phone. While searching, Han Zhen unexpectedly shows up to help. Just then, their teacher, who was napping in the office, catches them. Chao quickly makes an excuse and escapes, but Xiao and Han get caught and are punished by being made to run laps around the school ground. Later, Xiao angrily visits Chao with a box of apples, accusing him of betraying her. She threatens to expose his CD collection. In response, Chao reveals he managed to retrieve Zhong's phone but had to write an apology letter for the teacher in return. While she's there, Xiao spots a smoked cigarette in the bin and accuses Chao of picking up bad habits, though he's just as confused by its appearance. The next morning, Chao notices his mother dressed up nicely for work. Meanwhile at school, Jiang is amusing herself by predicting classmates' futures. During class, the teacher asks Ling Long a question she can't answer, and she's told to leave. Out of spite, Ling Long blames Xiao Tu and Jiang for talking too, and the teacher sends all three out. Xiao hides her face behind a book when she spots Chao and Xinlon passing by. Chao points out she's holding the book upside down and walks off with a smirk. After school, Chao sees a man picking up his mother and feels uneasy. He dreams that his mother tells him he's grown up and should live life on his own, before leaving with the man. When he wakes up distressed, Xiao Tu cheers him up with some candy. Later, Chao notices nail polish on his fingers and immediately suspects Xiao Tuesday. He calls to scold her, but she hangs up, pretending to study. In reality, she's checking her fortune reading, which says her luck is good, so she skips studying. On his mother's birthday, Chao gives her a pair of earrings. When she mentions the man didn't visit, She asks Chow if he wants to meet him. He refuses, simply saying he wants her to be happy. Exam results are released. Han Jun takes first place, Chow comes second, and Xiao Tu barely passes. On the way home, she begs Chow not to mention her results to his mother. When they get home, she tries to distract her so Chow can't say anything, but someone has already sent the report card. Furious, her mother scolds her. The next day, Xiao confronts Ling Long, realizing she was the one who sent the report card home out of spite. In class, while the geography teacher is lecturing, Xiao Tu and Jiang are caught doodling in their books. As punishment, their seats are rearranged. Jiang is now sitting with a classmate named Wan, and Xiao Tu is assigned to sit with Han Zhen. Xiao Tu tells Han Zhen he must feel awkward sitting with a backbencher like her. But Han replies that it doesn't matter who his deskmate is. His only goal is to defeat Ling Chao. Xiao dreams that the world is ending and monsters are chasing her and Chao. Frightened, she calls him. Chao reassures her and starts explaining a theory to calm her, but Xiao falls asleep from boredom. The next day, Xiao's mom brings innerwear with rabbit patterns for both of them. Xiao loves the design. Later, Xiao accidentally takes Chao's bag. When Chao finds hers, with a bra inside, he nervously puts it back and teases her about stealing his stuff. Embarrassed, runs off. During rest hour, Xiao snacks and wakes Han, who refuses her offer, saying he doesn't eat junk food. At home, Chao's mother introduces him to a man, his father. Disturbed, Chao quietly goes to his room, watching from her house, notices it's the same car from before. To comfort him, Xiao invites Chao over and tries to distract him with games, but he remains withdrawn. The next day, they ride to school together. Han sees them and wonders how such different personalities are so close. Maybe they're dating? During lunch, Han sits with Xiao, which gets the principal's attention. The teacher questions him about breaking the rule to keep boys and girls apart. Han says it's Chao and Xiao who are in love, and he's just gathering evidence. The teacher doesn't believe him. After school, Han again sees them together. The next day, he asks Xiao about her relationship with Chao. She says they're just neighbors. When she mentions Chao helps with her homework, Han laughs and says that must slow down his studies. Trying to learn more about Chao, Han gets closer to Xiao and treats her kindly. One day, Chao notices someone following them. It's Han. Xiao thinks Han has fallen for her and is trying to escort her home, but Chao suspects a hidden motive. Winter break begins. Xiao chats with Han during dinner, which makes Chao jealous. Han then messages her, offering to help with homework at a cafe. Xiao thinks he's going to confess and agrees to meet. The next day, Chao secretly follows her. Their friends, including Shen Lon, tag along. At the cafe, Han greets Xiao and offers her cake. Xiao Tu asks Han Jun if he likes her, but he shockingly says no. She questions why he gives her cake and takes such good care of her, to which Han replies he's just being a good deskmate. When he gets cake on his lips, Xiao wipes it off, making Han's heart skip a beat. Xiao insists on paying half the cafe bill, but Han refuses to take money from a girl. Outside, Shenlong spots them and asks if they're dating. Xiao denies it, saying they were only doing homework. They visit a clothing shop where Xiao tries on a sweater. Chao picks another one he likes for her, and Han chooses one too. Both try to pay for it, but Chao ends up covering the cost. Outside, when he asks for the money, Xiao says she doesn't have it and gives him 10 yuan. Offended, Chao tells her to consider it a New Year's gift. After vacation, school resumes. Girls who have a crush on Chao give him gifts, which he ignores. The class teacher announces that students must choose between arts and science. During lunch, Han asks Xiao what she'll choose, and she says it depends on her results. When he asks about Chao, she admits she doesn't know. After school, Han finds a reason to walk with them. Xiao points out that Han already knows the way to her house. Chao then urges her to go home, noticing someone following them, his father. Chao confronts him, saying he left them by choice and shouldn't return. Meanwhile, Xiao takes Han to her house, where Han feels uneasy. Xiao's dad compliments Han for being more handsome than Chao, making Han beam. Later, Chao's family joins them for dinner. To prove himself better, Han does all the house chores. When he leaves, he discovers his bicycle was stolen, so Xiao lends him hers. The next morning, on the way to school, Xiao asks Chao what stream she should pick. He sarcastically says she'll fail regardless. At school, Shin Lon offers Chao breakfast, but he refuses. Xiao tells Jiang that Xinlan might be jealous of her closeness with Xiao. Later, Xiao sees Xinlan gossiping about her and scolds her. Xiao, meanwhile, begins avoiding both Xinlan and Linglong. During computer class, Xiao pretends to be Jiang and messages Xiao asking if he likes her and would eat chicken after school. Xiao replies, "If you want to eat chicken, just say so directly." Later, Jiang tells Xiao that Han likes her. He gave her milk tea, and since she accepted, she must like him too. Jiang suggests she spend time with Han outside school. Han dresses nicely, but Xiao ends up taking him to Taekwondo class. Meanwhile, Xiao goes home and sees slippers, realizing his dad is visiting, so he leaves and heads to Zhao's house. Later, Han drops Xiao off at home. He opens up about his dream of becoming a singer and dancer, though his parents want him to focus on academics. Then he leaves. When Xiao too reaches home, she finds Xiao waiting for her. He questions if she truly thinks Han is her Prince Charming and suggests there might be a hidden motive behind his kindness. Xiao teases that he must be jealous and walks inside. Later, Xiao sees his father's car parked outside and instead heads to Xiao Tu's house, where all their friends are gathered. He gets annoyed seeing Han wearing his slippers, so Xiao gives him hers instead. They play truth and dare. Jiang Nan dares Xiao Tu to stare at a classmate for 10 seconds. She chooses Han, whose feelings slowly start shifting from friendship to love. Meanwhile, Xiao stares at him, making Han uneasy. The next morning, Xiao's mother is unwell but still makes breakfast. His father arrives, and Xiao leaves without eating. Meanwhile, Xiao Tu's mother asks why she has no dreams when others do, prompting a family argument, and her father storms off. Xiao Tu begins asking classmates, teachers, even the principal about their dreams, recording them on camera. Later, Xiao waits outside Xiao Tu's house for his father to leave. She complains that he's being unreasonable. Once the car departs, Xiao heads home, but his father stops him and gives him medicine for his mother. Feeling guilty, Xiao realizes he's been selfish. He takes the medicine and asks his dad to eat with him. The breakfast is awkward, and Xiao quickly leaves for school. The next day, the teacher announces a parent-teacher meeting. After class, Han visits Xiao, prompting Jiang to ask why he keeps showing up. Is it because he likes Xiao? Han doesn't confirm but also doesn't deny it. He then asks Xiao if she's nervous about the meeting. She replies that her parents are out of town. At the meeting, Xiao's mom sits at Xiao Tu's desk. Xiao's father attends his class, where the teacher praises his grades but says he's too reserved. Meanwhile, students joke about how their parents will scold them. Han begins to feel more drawn to Xiao, but seeing her with Xiao makes him jealous. Later, Xiao Tu and Jiang overhear students gossiping. Some claim Xiao's mom posed as Xiao Tu's, and others spread rumors that Xiao and Xiao were childhood sweethearts. Another girl claims Xiao is now close with Han. Han hears it too and grows jealous. The teacher advises him to focus on studies and promises tips for confessing to his crush later. Trying to avoid more rumors, Xiao Tu hides from Xiao. When she finally tells him, he points out she didn't care when the rumor was about her and Han. Xiao says that wasn't true. Xiao then asks if the current one is true, and takes her away with him. Later, he brings fruit to Xiao Tu's room and finds her chatting on the phone with Han. As Xiao is about to leave, Xiao Tu stops him and asks him to sign her report card. This sparks an argument. During it, Han calls again, but Xiao tells him to wait as she's in the middle of something important. The next day, Xiao's friend tells him that Han and Xiao are in different classes now but still spend time together. Jokingly, he imagines Han becoming his brother-in-law in 10 years. From then on, he begins observing them closely. Meanwhile, Xiao and Jiang are reading a comic book disguised with an academic-looking cover. Jiang later takes her to a shop where such covers hide comics. Xiao buys a novel camouflaged as a computer book, the same one Xiao wanted to read. She also tells Jiang that she'll be going to a movie with Han the next day. Later, Xiao's friend searches for a book on Xinlan's suggestion and feels cold while doing so. When Xiao hears this, he scolds him, but his friend reveals he was bullied for being overweight in school, and only Xinlan treated him kindly. This leads to a heated argument, and Xiao gets punched. On the day of the movie, Han eagerly waits, and Xiao gets ready, but Xiao shows up with a bruised face. Xiao tends to his wounds, cleans his injury, and gives him medicine, despite Xiao's usual resistance. In all the fuss, she forgets about the movie plan, and her phone remains on silent. The next day, Xiao learns that Han caught a fever after waiting in the cold. She calls him, and Han eagerly picks up. Xiao apologizes and explains she forgot because Chao was hurt. Han then asks if she considers Chao a better friend than him, but she doesn't have an answer. Later, Jiang visits Xiao to study. When Xiao sees her off, she spots a boy playing violin, June, Ling Long's cousin and Zhao's childhood crush. Xiao tells Ling Long she wants to visit her house for homework help, knowing June will be there. Ling Long agrees but insists she also invite Chao next time. Xiao invites Chao to her place, saying June and Ling Long will be there. Chao says he's already finished his homework. Xiao admits June was her childhood crush. Chao asks what she thinks of Han. She says he's just a friend. Then she picks up their childhood photo album, which includes June. As she tries to leave, Chao stops her and accidentally pins her against the door. Their eyes meet, and everything freezes for a moment. Next day, everyone comes to Zhao's house to do homework. Xiao keeps glancing at June. After studying, they relax and plan to eat fried chicken that weekend. When the weekend arrives, Xiao and Chao wait for June and Ling Long. To keep her warm, Chao offers her his jacket. Once the others arrive, Xiao keeps staring at June, making Chao jealous. He finally tells her to stop. Afterwards, they all go to a restaurant. Xiao keeps glancing at June, but Chao distracts her. When June asks why she's blushing, she admits he's quite handsome and had been her ideal since childhood. Just as she's about to say more, Chao picks her up and drags her away. On the bus ride back, Xiao falls asleep on Chao's shoulder. He smiles quietly, feeling an unfamiliar attraction toward her. Later, Han is seen singing in a washroom. A man hears him and approaches. He's a general manager in the entertainment industry. Impressed, he gives Han his business card. Han shares the news with his friends but feels unsure if his parents will allow it. Xiao encourages him to follow his dreams and talk to them. A few days later, Han tells Xiao he passed the audition and his parents agreed. Still, he's not happy. He feels Chao is better than him in everything. Xiao cheers him up by saying Chao can't sing, which gives Han a small sense of victory. Soon, Chao's college entrance exams are near. Xiao helps him prepare diligently. The day before the exam, she keeps reminding him about supplies and wake-up time, which irritates Chao and he asks her to leave. Days later, Chao clears the exam and joins a new university. Han tells the group that he'll be going abroad soon. He emotionally says goodbye to Xiao, wishing she'll always remain his best friend. Just as he's about to hug her, Chao calls, and Xiao rushes off, leaving Han heartbroken. 2 months later, Xiao is busy preparing for her final exams. When Chao messages her, she replies with a happy birthday. Later that evening, as she leaves school after studying, she sits at Chao's old desk and reminisces. Chao suddenly appears, reminding her of her promise to join Yunhai University. He motivates her to work hard, and they celebrate his birthday with a phone flashlight as a candle. When he leans forward, he accidentally falls on her, and both freeze in that awkward heart-racing moment. Later in the dorm, Chao calls her. She says not to disturb her because of exams. He tells her to rest well. He wants to say something after her test. Her roommates tease her, saying their cold-hearted friend finally feels something. On exam day, Chao accompanies her. When she accidentally steps in dog poop, Chao offers her his shoes so she doesn't feel embarrassed. Exams continue for several days. On the final day, Xiao gets emotional, realizing her school life is truly ending. Later, Zhao's results are out. Her marks are better than expected, but not enough for her dream university. Chao calls to inform her that the university has newly added journalism as a major. If she opts for it, she can still get in. After finishing his semester, Chao returns home. The story now catches up to the present, where the drama first began. Zhao's friend asks if she has applied to university. Xiao replies that her father isn't agreeing. Chao suggests she apply to another university in the same city. He wants to see her every day. He imagines leaning in to kiss her, but it's just a daydream. In reality, he tells her the same thing and leans closer. Nervous, Xiao pushes him into the water and runs away. Later, she visits Chao to check on him since he caught a cold but finds his room empty. Suddenly, hearing him enter, she hides under his bed. Chao begins and Xiao gets flustered. Chao casually asks how long she plans to hide and jokes she should have hidden her slippers too. When she scolds him for undressing, he explains he's changing for laundry. As he moves closer again, she gets annoyed and storms out. A few days later, Xiao joins university. Jiang is also admitted and they're placed in the same dorm. Soon, Ling Long joins them, and then a new roommate, Mo. They all get introduced and bond quickly. Later, Chow calls Xiao to check if she's still upset. He insists he did nothing wrong in his own room, but eventually apologizes. Just then, their roommates invite them out to dinner. At dinner, Chow deliberately sits across from Xiao. His friend mentions that many girls had proposed to Chow last year, but he rejected them all. Ling Long asks if he has a girlfriend. His friend jokes about Chow having a rude childhood sweetheart he often talks to on the phone. During a truth and dare game, Jiang dares Xiao to approach a handsome guy and ask for his number. Chow gets visibly jealous. Xiao completes the dare and the boy gives her his number, making Chow extremely drunk, then unconscious. As Xiao walks Chow back to the dorm, he clings to her, begging her not to leave him. Thinking it's just drunken talk, she drops him off and leaves. It's later revealed that Chow was only pretending to be drunk to get close to her. In the next scene, a new student named Chen, the same guy who gave Xiao his number, arrives in class. The teacher introduces him as the student union head leading a seminar and looking for volunteers. While Xiao is distracted eating momos, she accidentally volunteers and is assigned to manage the college website. Soon, a rumor spreads on campus that Chow is a playboy who flirts with girls in private. Xiao gets upset and avoids him. When she goes to see him, she stops him from checking his phone, trying to protect him from the comments. Chow says he blocked the comments and asks if she cares about him. She replies that he studies all day and doesn't have time for girls. Chow then asks if she'd be upset if he had a girlfriend and couldn't spend time with her. Xiao calmly replies that he's grown up and can have a girlfriend. She won't stop him. The next day, Chow invites Xiao to an optional class, and they walk together. When Xiao extends her hand, Chow thinks she wants to hold his, but she only wants breakfast. Chon then asks if they know each other. Xiao calls Chow her brother, but Chow quickly clarifies they're not blood-related and pulls her away. Later, Chon informs Xiao about a seminar meeting and asks if she has a camera for photos. When she says no, he offers to buy one and takes her along. Meanwhile, Chow's roommates tease him, saying if Xiao is his childhood sweetheart, he better act fast before someone else wins her heart. Following their advice, Chow brings her a chocolate bouquet and calls her downstairs. Instead of coming down, she lowers a basket and tells him to place it inside. The next day, he uses coded cards to say, "I love you," but she doesn't understand, leaving him frustrated. Then, Jiang invites her outside where the building lights up with "Happy Birthday," and Chow makes a dramatic entrance with a camera gift. Later, Xiao writes in her online novel how Chow has changed, always trying to be close to her, which she doesn't really mind. The next day, Xiao starts avoiding Chow. When Chan appears with a camera, he suggests she practice taking photos, capturing moments with both of them. Seeing this, some students gossip, saying Chow flirts with boys too. At the library, Chow confronts Xiao, asking why she's avoiding him. She replies that if he wants a birthday gift, she can't afford anything this month. Just then, they notice Chan arguing with a girl very closely, which makes Xiao nervous. As they study together, Chow dozes off. Xiao stares at him and gently touches his face. Someone snaps a photo, but when it's posted online, Xiao is cropped out, again. Later, they attend Chow's birthday party. Everyone is surprised Xiao didn't bring him a gift, so they send the two shopping. Xiao is shocked by the dress prices, saying she can't afford them. Chow asks her to try one anyway, and when she likes it, he buys it. The shirt ends up costing only $1.98, making her happy. Outside the store, a girl flirts with Chow, making Xiao jealous and upset. Chow manages to cheer her up, and they enjoy the birthday celebration. Back home, while cooking together, Xiao scolds Chow for not wearing the shirt she gifted him. Chow sweetly replies that he'll do it, for the first time with her, leaving her flustered. In the final scene, Xiao works on the seminar project with Chan. Chow calls to invite her to lunch, but she declines, making him quietly jealous. Chow hacks Xiao Tu's computer and changes her wallpaper to a live rabbit, hinting that he's watching her. She quickly guesses it was him. Meanwhile, Chan pretends to help Xiao to get closer to her, but she ignores him. After their seminar rehearsal ends, everyone leaves except Chan, who asks her to stay and rehearse again. Secretly, he has the door locked from outside. Alone with her, Chan says he knows she likes him and questions why she gets shy around him. Xiao coolly replies that's just her face. She then accuses him of spreading rumors about Chow, which he admits before starting to misbehave with her. Just then, Chow bursts in with his friends, beats up Chan, and takes Xiao away. At the dorm, Chao's friend shows him Xiao Tu's latest story update, and it's revealed Chao has been following her story all along. Later, Chao invites Xiao to LY City for a competition, 2 days and 1 night. She gets nervous, and her roommates tease her about the romantic setup. Jiang gives her makeup and a dress to impress Chao. They arrive at their destination, both feeling a bit awkward. At dinner, Xiao wears a skirt, surprising Chao. They enjoy street food together, and during the crowd jostle, their closeness makes both their hearts race. Back at the hotel, Xiao checks Jiang's dress and is shocked by how bold it is. Just then, Chao walks in, saying his kettle is broken. Xiao quickly hides the dress. Chao notices her wet hair and gently dries it with a towel. While doing so, he stumbles and falls on her. Then, with his heart on his sleeve, he confesses, "If I have to be with someone, I want it to be you. I like you. Will you be my girlfriend?" Xiao, hiding her excitement, replies, "We'll talk after you win the competition." He agrees and kisses her. After winning, Xiao happily tells everyone that she and Chao are now dating. Jiang is thrilled, but Linglong seems upset. Later, Xiao works on her photography homework when Chao arrives and compliments her outfit, joking that it looks like a new trend. They take some photos, and she asks if they look like a real couple. Chao leans in and says they can act like one. As a romantic moment builds and they nearly kiss, someone interrupts. Chao then walks Xiao back to her dorm, hoping for a hug, but the innocent Xiao simply takes her things and walks off. The next day, she's with Jiang when an old classmate calls her to discuss plans, but he doesn't include Jiang in the conversation. Xiao meets Chao, who invites her to Forest Park over the holidays. She declines, saying she has an appointment but doesn't reveal with whom. When Chao asks if it's a boy or girl, she teasingly says, maybe a boy, leaving him confused and suspicious. The next day, Jiang plans to attend her idol's fan meetup, but Xiao confesses she actually wants Jiang to stay with her because she and Chao broke up. He said he's no longer interested in her. Moved by her friend's distress, Jiang cancels her plans. Just then, Chao arrives and reminds Xiao they were supposed to go to the library, but Xiao coldly refuses. A baffled Chao storms back to his room, venting his frustration to his roommates. Later, Xiao messages him to meet in the evening, saying she has something important to tell him. Chao begins overthinking, fearing she might break up with him. Meanwhile, Xiao tells Jiang that Chao was seen with a girl. Furious, Jiang goes to confront him but finds him with Wen, a male friend she mistook for a girl. When Wen starts opening up to Jiang, she interrupts, saying, "I love you too," leaving him stunned. On the other side, Chao asks Xiao why she didn't clarify things earlier. She explains Wen had told her not to tell anyone. Chao playfully pretends to be angry, and Xiao tries to cheer him up. Then her mom video calls, sees Chao, and asks if they're dating. Xiao denies it, saying they're just on a walk. After the call, Chao questions why she's keeping the relationship a secret. Xiao explains that if her mom finds out now, she'll pressure them into getting married or engaged, so she'll wait for the right time. Before leaving, she kisses Chao, and he kisses her back. During the holidays, Xiao visits Chao's house early in the morning to wake him up, but he pretends to be asleep. When she calls him out, Chao pins her on the bed, and just as the mood shifts, his dad enters asking what they want for breakfast. Xiao turns the moment into playful bickering, but Chao's dad clearly sees through it. Later, outside, Chao hugs Xiao from behind. She worries about their parents seeing them, but Chao asks if they should make the relationship public. Xiao kisses him and firmly says no. They go for a romantic walk, holding hands, but when they see neighbors nearby, Xiao insists they hide their relationship to avoid gossip. They later join their parents in a card game, and their flirtatious bickering raises Chao's dad's suspicions about whether they're actually dating. Their parents soon leave for a 7-day trip. Xiao's dad is hesitant to leave them alone, but eventually agrees. Chao excitedly plans their week together, but on day 1, Xiao says her cousin is visiting, and on day 2, she's busy sending him back. On the 3rd day of the holidays, Xiao is busy with a photo shoot with her college friends. On the 4th, she says she has her period. Chao starts to feel disheartened. The next morning, Xiao brings him breakfast. Chao asks if she has any plans for the day, and Xiao replies that Jiang has invited her to watch a movie. Later at the cinema, Xiao arrives and is surprised to see Wen there too. Jiang had planned it as a couple's outing. Xiao explains she didn't know one would be joining, but promises to talk to Chao about it later. Before she can, Chao confronts her with a photo a friend sent of the 3 of them. Xiao explains she didn't expect one to come, but Xiao accuses her of not cherishing their relationship and always hiding it. Hurt, Xiao walks away. Soon after, Xiao regrets not clearing things up and goes to find Xiao, but he arrives first, saying he's lost his house key. He hands her a cake and apologizes, and Xiao also apologizes, admitting she sometimes forgets they're in a relationship. Xiao reveals he's built an app to remind her that they're dating. When their parents return unexpectedly. Inside, Xiao is being romantic, pushing her playfully onto the sofa. Xiao hears a key jingle in his pocket and realizes he lied about losing it. Just as they're about to, the parents walk in. Xiao's father looks displeased, but the others are amused. Xiao returns to his dorm. Meanwhile, Jiang drags Xiao to a seminar, but she seems uninterested, until she spots June, her childhood crush, on stage. Excited, she tells Jiang about him. Later, June offers Xiao a job at his company after graduation. Xiao accepts with 2 conditions. His roommates must be on his team, and June must stay away from Xiao. June, realizing how serious Xiao is, agrees. Later, Xiao and Jiang are assigned a news coverage project. While filming, they witness a staged accident. An older woman fakes being hit by a boy on a bike. The crowd blames the boy, but Jiang suspects he's innocent and wants to investigate. The next day, they struggle to find news content. Then Jiang notices the bike video trending online, with the boy being blamed unfairly. They review their footage and confirm he wasn't at fault. They work overnight editing and posting the truth, which soon goes viral. The boy personally comes to thank them. In a flashback, we see the same boy noticing Xiao calming a crying child at a cafe. He's clearly impressed by her. His name is Xian. Xian approaches Xiao to thank her for the bike video and slyly uses it as an excuse to get her number. Just then, Xiao arrives and takes her away. The next morning, Xian brings Xiao drinks as a thank you treat. As he's leaving her dorm, Xiao sees him. Later that night, Xian calls out to Xiao outside her dorm. He's set up lights and decorations. Xiao comes down and warns people might misunderstand. Xian says he's serious about pursuing her now. Xiao tells him she already has a boyfriend, but Xian insists he'll still try. Maybe he'll win this love war. Xiao's classmates see a video of this and show it to him. A friend advises Xiao to make their relationship public to stop others from approaching her. The next day, Xian brings breakfast, but Xiao says she's dieting and reminds him to call her senior. Just then, Xiao arrives. Xiao introduces him as her boyfriend and says they're in a happy relationship. Xian challenges that claim, saying if it were true, why isn't it public? He accuses Xiao of not being romantic. Xiao counters that she's not romantic either, so they're a perfect match, and walks off with Xiao. Later, Jiang tells Xiao that Xiao posted something about her and blocked her from seeing it. Jiang guesses that Xiao feared she might get mad but wanted to warn Xian off. Though she understands, Xiao still gets angry at Xiao for blocking her. The next day, Xian is again waiting outside her dorm. Xiao mocks him for not giving up. Xian says unless they're married, he still has a chance. Xiao comes out, and Xian confesses his love again. Xiao gets affectionate with Xiao to show her off. Though Xiao is still annoyed with Xiao, she ignores Xian and leaves with him. Xiao then takes her to an apartment he bought for their future. He'll start training under June soon, and after graduation, they'll live there together. He gives her a key to a separate room, making her blush. They spend the night together in that apartment and enjoy their time. Xiao shares a photo online, prompting Xian to finally give up. The next day, Jiang goes shopping with Xiao for a job interview. She sends pictures to her boyfriend Wan, who is on a mountain trip with no network. He tries messaging her, but the texts don't go through. Later, Xiao's roommates ask if they can stay in the apartment until Xiao moves in. Xiao refuses. On Jiang's birthday, Xiao surprises her by bringing her to Xiao's apartment, where all their friends join in the celebration. But Jiang hasn't received any messages from Wan. Upset, she tells them not to sing a birthday song, sing a breakup song instead, and breaks down crying. It turns out Jiang and Wan have broken up. Jiang falls into deep depression, and although Xiao and her roommates try to cheer her up, she struggles to move on. The scene jumps 20 months forward. Jiang is starting her internship at a company. Meanwhile, Xiao is also interning elsewhere, where a fellow intern, Wei Wei, keeps bossing her around. Some co-workers gossip that although Wei Wei is just an intern, she acts like she's above Xiao. One day, Xiao gets a video call from Han, who tells her he's returning to China. She's thrilled and quickly messages Chow to say she's on leave. When Chow calls back, she suggests dinner, but he declines. He has an appointment. Suspicious, Chow wonders if he's meeting another girl. She visits Chow's apartment and asks his friend about the appointment, but he doesn't know. Then she checks Chow's location and sees he's returning. Thinking he's bringing the girl along, Chow waits, only to see Chow arrive with Wen. Chow scolds Wen for hurting Jiang while he seems fine, but he explains he tried to meet her many times and was always turned away. Chow says their breakup was just a misunderstanding and encourages him to talk to Jiang again. Wen takes her advice and leaves. Afterward, Chow teases Chow about her comment that all boys are the same. His friend interrupts, so Chow takes her to his room. He says her dorm must be closed, so she should stay over. When she worries about the small bed, Chow says they'll share, and promises to get a bigger bed next time. Teases him by saying he can do whatever he wants. Chow replies that what he wants can wait. For now, just sleep. Chow feels happy and starts testing his self-control by him a little. Chow warns that if she keeps it up, he won't be able to stop himself. Chow flirts, asking what he would do. Chow gently kisses her forehead and says, "Sleep." Chow hugs him, and Chow warns her not to hold him so tightly or he might lose control. The next day, Chow takes her to a fancy restaurant. Chow thinks he's going to propose. When the food arrives, she searches for a ring but finds nothing. Thinking it's hidden in the wine, she drinks it all. Still nothing. Chow, confused, asks why she's drinking so much. He then whispers something to the waiter. Chow assumes it's about the ring, but the waiter returns with a blanket. Chow had simply asked for it so she wouldn't get cold. On the way out, Chow asks why she was acting strange. Chow admits she thought he was going to propose. Chow smiles, says he didn't know she was so eager to get married, pulls her close, and invites her back to his apartment again. Later that night, Chow is about to sleep when Chow comes into her room, saying it's cold in his. Hoping she'd invite him to stay, he's disappointed when she simply hands him an extra blanket and tells him to leave. Offended, Chow leaves with a cold, "Good night." Later, Chow finds Chow asleep on the sofa and gently covers him with a blanket. As she turns to go, Chow pulls her onto the sofa and starts kissing her. Chow gasps, realizing he was pretending to sleep. Their moment is interrupted when Chow's friend walks by, making Chow run away in embarrassment. Soon after, Jiang returns from her internship and asks Chow about her relationship. Chow says they share a bed, but nothing has happened yet. Jiang teases her, saying that's unlikely. Later, Chow takes Jiang outside, hinting that someone special has planned a surprise. Jiang is stunned to see Wen standing among romantic decorations. He tells her it's been 632 days since their breakup, and not a single day has gone by without missing her. Jiang begins crying and tries to walk away, but Wen stops her. He then performs a dance to her favorite idol song, just like she used to do for him at school, making her cry harder. Wen hugs her and asks to start over, but Jiang says she needs time. Wen agrees to wait. Meanwhile at work, Xiao and Wei Wei are given the same task: attract the most audience through interviews. Xiao's boss treats her harshly, while Wei Wei privately scoffs that Xiao can't beat her unless she interviews a celebrity. Xiao overhears and thanks her mentally for the idea. Next, Xiao invites Han to her company for an interview. Han asks her to sit with him, but she says she's busy. He replies that he left something important to be there, but she doesn't appreciate it. Just then, the company director arrives, shocked to see a top celebrity present. Han says Xiao invited him. Impressed, the director praises Xiao, and her boss starts treating her with new respect. Later, Xiao teaches Xiao to cook, but midway through, he kisses her. As the food finishes, they decide to eat first. The next morning, Xiao playfully calls her honey. Xiao blushes, saying they're not married. Xiao jokes that they've been married for 3 years. Xiao laughs, asking if she's lost her memory, and whether they have kids yet. Xiao grins and says they can have some soon. He finally admits they're just engaged, and her father has already accepted them. Then Xiao informs him that she invited Han for breakfast. Xiao tells her to change clothes before Han arrives. When Han shows up, he's already cooking breakfast. Xiao scolds Xiao for making a guest cook, and as she tries to kick Xiao in frustration, she accidentally hits Han. Han, slightly hurt after being accidentally kicked, jokingly says, "You seem to forget this is the leg of a singer and dancer." Xiao laughs and remarks that she never imagined he'd become such a big star. Han replies, "You were the one who believed in me." This brings a flashback to Zhao's mind. When a reporter once asked Han if he had a crush, he replied, "Yes, she's an ordinary girl, but she supported me from the beginning." Back in the present, Han casually says he only said that for publicity. Later that night, Xiao comes out of the shower and begins Xiao. He kisses her, and they share an moment, spending the night together. The next morning, Xiao wakes up and wonders if she should keep pretending to sleep or quietly get dressed. As she tiptoes to get ready, Xiao pulls her back onto the bed, but it turns out it was just Zhao's imagination. Xiao then appears and asks what she was thinking. Xiao nervously replies she was just picking an outfit. Xiao casually says, "Yesterday's clothes are dirty, so wear the other ones," making her even more flustered. That evening, they take a walk down memory lane, recalling childhood and school moments. At the amusement park, Xiao shares that before her entrance exam results were out, he feared they'd be separated. "You don't know how hard my first year of college was without you," he says. Then, he looks at her and asks, "Will you marry me?" Xiao accepts with a smile. They say, "I love you" to each other as fireworks light up the sky. In the final scenes, they're shown happily married and later having a baby. They often leave their child with their parents and go on romantic trips. One day, they return to the place where it all began. Xiao tells her he forgot something the day he proposed. When Xiao asks what, he kisses her, bringing the story to a heartfelt end. If you enjoyed this drama, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more.